The SSAT is a big deal for admission for one category of students. They're not recruitable athletes, and they're aspiring to the top tier prep schools. If that's your child, it is important to show a strong SSAT score. Why? They like you for some other reasons, but they have to show that you are among the best of the applicants. And these schools have a hard time doing that because what is best? You can't compare GPA from different schools, even if they're on the same scale or an equatable scale. 4.0 is transferable. But there's different levels of competitiveness from school district to school district. And there's an awful lot of incoming kids to prep schools, boarding schools especially, that are from private schools, not even district, homeschooled, different countries. For prep schools to assess you, they need a standard, and they use the secondary school admission test, that's the SSAT, most broadly. There's an ISEE that can have equal weight, and that's used by many schools in the the mid-Atlantic states. SSAT is a bit more dominant. Usually either score is acceptable. To master it involves study, because some of the aspects don't just come right out of even the best of 7th and 8th grade educations. They ask things that involve some reasoning, which often isn't taught. You learn math skills in school, you learn reading skills in school, you learn vocabulary in school, but do you actually learn how to do analogies perfectly? Do you actually know how to take reading comp inferences and still parse the right inference from a tempting but still wrong answer choice? These, which are coachable, usually aren't coached in 7th and 8th grade. Outside coaches do that. I have a firm that has lots of outside coaches. Ivy Bound teaches to the test. So if it's one that is important for your child's admission, please consider us. ivybound.net. We've been doing this for over 20 years, and SSAT is actually our most coachable test. A few hours gets kids a long way. Now, how high do you need to be? It does depend on the competitiveness of the prep schools. Those in the top 10 or close, aspiring to be ranked in the top 10, they really want to see students whose SSAT average puts them in the top 10. That there is a marker there. And so being in the 90th or at least 85th percentile is probably necessary unless you're a recruitable athlete. Different story, I have a different video for that. Less competitive, but still competitive, meaning they're going to reject nearly half the applicants. You better have an above average SSAT score. Scores range on all three sections from 500 to 850. Often, schools will accept if one of those is below, but the other two are really strong. It does tend to work as a composite. Schools differ, and rarely do they tell you a minimum because there isn't a minimum. There really is a trade-off of some excellence in other areas with the score that you get. Getting a good SSAT score, though, allows you to be not as excellent in other areas and still gain admission. I look forward to maybe helping you gain admission. Please give us a visit. We're at ivybound.net. Our coaches are available almost any time of the week.